This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
I think we're going to have a lot of good times together.
The forest. Beauty. Serenity. Mystery. And not least, the unknown.
Don't touch me! Let me go! Stop it! How long are you going to keep me in here?
So you let me touch you.
My parents have money.
Who the fuck needs money out here?
She lost it. Doesn't look good.
I'll make a couple more passes over Winlaw Valley, then I'm shutting her down.
No, wait! Wait! I'll let you, but inside the cabin, I want you to let me out of here. I'll shoot you. Get out of my way!
Into a forest of shadows. Abducted.
This is your new home.
I already have a home.
It was supposed to be a camping trip with best friends. But it turned into a terrifying nightmare of the worst kind.
What are you gonna do with us?
Maybe I'll just keep you off, like some big stud ram.
Stingray gas! Don't move!
You don't have any bullets. I'm gonna slice you open like the poor pig you are.
Now, it's survival of the fittest.
I don't want nothing to do with this. I came here for one thing. That hit.
And only the strong will survive.
We have to go get her before he hurts her.
I'm scared.
They must go beyond their fear.
Don't you ever hit me.
Beyond their terror. Beyond their wildest imagination.
I know what to do now. I have to think just like him.
To save their friend.
We shall become friends first.
We don't need to be friends. Mine. Come on, bitch! Let's see how tough you really are.
It is the ultimate battle of the sexes. Dan Haggerty.
He's headed down to the rainforest.
Jan Michael Vincent.
I can kill a man.
And 3 of the toughest ladies you'll ever meet. Abducted 2, The Reunion.
We mixed, we loaded, we edited.
Sometimes we get so deep into conversation that we have separate segments worthy of their own place in the sun.
Here is a reshuffled mini episode.
Hello all, hello all. going into all kinds of obscure cult movies. I love doing nothing more than just bringing just obscurities just to light. You know, every movie needs a voice, even if it's a movie one doesn't care for. And lo and behold, I just decided, you know, even when I first began this podcast, I'm going to just talk about those movies you've seen at the video stores or mom and pop, you know, thrift shops, but never bothered with, but we're still curious about. And using my online resources, I found copies, of course, especially because a lot of these movies are just so hard to find. And I decided to, you know, tackle the Abducted films. You know, they're probably best known for being 80s exploitation movies that didn't go all the way, and that's for the better. Like, again, you got a city girl, you know, going for a jog in the Canadian Rockies and then being chased by a crazy mountain man who, you know, kidnapped, and but yeah, then you got the outdoorsman father coming to the rescue. It's interesting how this got a PG, because you totally can tell is like, this guy is rapey but doesn't ever act on it, for thank God. And I'd say this is an average movie. I do find it interesting how both these movies played on USA Network's, you know, Up All Night show, and the filmmaker Boone Collins himself has gone on to all kinds of other B movies and TV films, like Escape to Grizzly Mountain, you know, other stuff that has coincidentally Dan Haggerty and Jan Michael Vincent, you know, who are in one of these movies each. And I was just always curious, because I would just see, you know, hey, this is by the guy who did Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, Spirit of the Eagle, all kinds of adventure, and spy, and horror films. Just like, okay, cool. And, you know, I respect anybody who can wear multiple hats and do all kinds of genres. And both these movies go really fast. Roberta Weiss is a decent heroine. Maybe you could call her Scream Queen. She's been in stuff like the movie version of The Dead Zone, guest starred on stuff like the new Mike Hammer, and Charles in Charge, and still occasionally acted every once in a while. But yeah, altogether, this is just one of those movies where you're just like, okay, this is weird, but I'm gonna hang with it. And for Haggerty completists, you could do worse. You know, Grizzly Adams, he's always was that kind of mountain man hero guy. And there's lots of decent stunt work, scenery. You can definitely find it on some of those third-party video sites. It'll probably come up if you want to look for it. But that leads us to the sequel, which, you know, again, you know, that comes out a decade later. And unlike the first, which was at cons, Abducted 2, The Reunion, it was basically related in theme only kind of movie. And it's like, see, I'm cool with that, because basically, you know, it's the same premise, but instead of Vern, this time the bad guy is Brad, you know. Basically, free female campers get, you know, terrorized, but Dan Haggerty is back as Joe Evans. Scream Queen Debbie Rocon is really good here. She's always good, but unfortunately not every horror fan knows who she is, because she's often in more indie or obscure kind of movies. There's a decent action adventure element, but you could easily put these in horror as well. This is rated very lower, but I found this way more better shot, way more engaging, and definitely an enhancement. And It's got an R rating. It's basically blink and you miss nudity. I guess it was a little intense, but I didn't see too many bloody results. It wasn't too bad. But nonetheless, just both these movies, they're fine. They're just kind of average, but Rachel Bianca, one of the actresses, even went on Howard Stern back in '95 to promote the movie. Of course, it was more of a derogatory game she had to play with Howard back then. Altogether, I mean, it's even funnier how the movie was actually supposed to be way more sexual in nature with people going skinny dipping, but because there was bad weather, they never filmed it, and that's okay. Again, these are just engaging movies that just go to adventure films, and I don't expect anything else really. Like, people like some good cat and mouse, backwoods alley terror, and just fun good versus evil. And altogether, I mean, if you're a cult movie guy, these are going to be definitely your kinds of movies to check out, even if they don't deliver in all areas. But yeah, I had fun looking them up. I wouldn't have gone out all the way, to spend a fortune on them. But hey, these are kind of a lost art on how to make a low budget, multi-genre kind of movie, because there's mystery, there's action, there's adventure, there's horror. What else do you want in backwoods kind of material like this? And it doesn't feel cheap. It also, neither one did. And kind of a missed art on how to make just a fun kind of Sunday night kind of movie, while also just showing how claustrophobic the woods can be, especially if you're trying to escape from some hostile forces. Lawrence King Phillips was really good as the villain in the sequel, and I liked how there was some helicopter action as well. So it made there more stakes, that made it more barriers to have to have people try to escape. And I think a lot of times people just don't provide themselves enough things to do, and these movies got the job done. It's just they're not gonna appeal to every kind of crowd, but based off what I've described, you should know who you are and whether this would or would not appeal. So thank you for listening. If you're gonna find these obscurities, you can definitely find them on some of the interwebs. If not, especially if you're more of a slasher or action adventure nut, you might prefer getting the physical copies and have at it, or find some of the download sites. They're definitely there as well, and not bad at all.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Welcome to the Better Call Daddy Show, the #1 podcast where we admit, no matter what happens, Daddy has the advice we need to fix our problems.
Introducing my dad, Mr. Wayne Friedman.
That was good. It would be nice if you could also sing a song.
What would the song be?
You love Paris in the springtime. I just made up some words to it.
I love Rena in the springtime. I love Rena in the fall.
That's right. That's good enough.
What I do is interview people of interest, share it with my dad, and get my dad's advice. My dad is my hero. Nobody's got my daddy.
Oh boy, let's go to Grandpa.
You like to be a little rebel. I tried to rein you in. I have a daughter named Rena that acts just like I did. She's got a son that is not only just like me, but it's just like her.
I'm your host, Rena Friedman Watts.
Invite your friends, subscribe, and I'm excited to take this journey with you.
Let's dive in.
She was teasing this guy with this sword, and she accidentally cut his dick.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
And then he started to enjoy it.
I started going down the phone sex rabbit hole. You've got the wankers, and they jerk off in 5 seconds, and then they're done because A, they don't want to spend money, and B, they're quick.
My stepfather had mania. If I'm yelling at one of my kids, that fear, that rigid fear.
Mom even said to me, I hope you have a kid just like you.
There are lots of people that are being bought and sold right now for profit.
If you think you're going to kill yourself, shut up and kill yourself. If you're not going to kill yourself, then shut up, smarten up, and it's all on you. The bullshit has to end.
Wow.
When I was 11 years old, I was raped and molested over the course of a year.
What Jeffrey Epstein had was a sickness inside of him.
I am Evan Castrilli Carmichael. I could do anything that I believe that I can.
I'm so excited too. Let's go.
Next on Better Call Daddy with my mom and my grandpa.
Stay tuned.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up